activate the pump and supply water to any or all of these 4 cells.
So this one system is going to supply water to these 4 cells?
That's correct.
And in the summertime, you're going to let it dry.
That's
in the
correct.
wintertime, you're going to leave water on it?
That's correct. A good example of what the Department of Conservation will look for in terms of water depth and coverage would be what's immediately in front of us. You see a rolling topography between 0 up to maybe 6 or 8 inches of water. That's been found to be a very productive depth in terms of habitat for wildlife. Habitats vary per species. This one is going to be focused in some aspects towards a bottomland hardwoods habitat for ducks in the future.
Okay, but as I understand, they won't be hunting on this.
That's correct.
It's only for our habitat, only for us people to observe.
Right. This area is open to quiet enjoyment, to bird watching, to hiking. It is not or will not be open to hunting, and that's a decision of the Missouri Department of Conservation. It relates, as I understand, to the size and management capabilities of the area, and it was determined that this area was not large enough to be dedicated toward waterfowl hunting.
Okay. Sounds like we're going to blast off. What are we waiting for? What's coming where?
Okay. The way this system is designed, the water is pumped up from the pump. It goes through a horizontal transfer. This is designed to regulate pressure, and it's a safety valve also. In case of a problem, the worst thing that can happen is the water will exit from the top.
Yes, let's move over here in case the worst thing happens, that the water exits from the top.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Buried up underneath the center of the levee is a piping system, very simple, that goes and tees off to each one of these cells. And then at the outlet of each one of these is a gate which can be opened or shut or throttled as much as necessary so that the water can go to any or all of the pools.
Okay. So this is how we're going to maintain the water level in the wintertime.
All right. You want to see
Okay, he's closing the gate. Are you seeing it go down? I see why he said stand back. Need to have a boat? What? Yeah. Oh, got it. Okay. Well, we've come off of 412, and we've turned in here at the Little River Lake project that's on the county line road between Dunklin and Pemiscot counties. There's a Missouri Conservation truck turning around right at the base of us here, but we have one of the gentlemen. Listen, anytime you see a gentleman in green standing around or a lady in green, I've seen the lady out here working, right. and they have this blue patch on, Missouri Department of Conservation, and this is Mark Boone, and we have seen him out here just hammering stakes into the ground like he had good sense. And it looks like there is no rhyme or reason to that, and so that aroused our curiosity. What is going on? And so we stopped Mark, and he's going to explain all this to us. There's method in his madness.
I'm not sure about that. Now, we're trying to improve the fish habitat out here at Little River Lake. There's not a whole lot of fish cover around here, so we're trying to use a bunch of different methods to try and improve the fish habitat. What we're looking at here are stake beds. One by one.
Now, this is not the kind of S-T-E-A-K,
no,
is it?
this is S-T-A-K-E.
Okay, so you have to be careful about your stakes.
These are wooden stakes that are pounded in the ground real close together, about 6, 8, 10, 12 inches apart.
Now, do you just go down and really start pounding?
They're pounded in about anywhere from 6 inches to a foot in the ground. And you put a whole bunch of them together.
And they're all sizes and all shapes?
The longer ones are down at the bottom ones, the shorter ones are up at the top. But there's...
And fish are going to like these?
Oh, they love these things. And fishermen like them, too, simply because you don't get hung up as much.
because if you fish up and down, you don't get hung up like you do in a brush pile.
I see, but if you're standing here and you cast, you're in trouble.
You still don't get hung up quite as much.
Okay. All right. So you are helping fish habitat then?
That's what we're trying to do, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, are there any? I see a bunch of trees down. Are they leaving those? Is that good for fish?
Oh yeah, trees are probably one of the best types of habitat we've got. We've got a large brush pile that's out in the center part of the lake. There's about 20-25 trees over here by the fishing pier. There's another group over here. There's several in the south end of the lake.
Now, are these just what you pushed over here?
Well, those out in that part of the lake out there were here, and we just pushed them over. The rest of them were trees that were brought in from different parts of the area.
Okay.
And they should provide real good habitat along with the stake beds. Now we'd like to do a whole bunch more of the stake beds if we could.
Okay. Now I understood from a phone call we had. Speaking. Wait a minute.
Matter of fact, we got more.
Matter of fact, I tell you what. If you wanted a trailer load of steaks, we've got them coming. Where'd these come from?
There's a furniture store in Morehouse, Lowe's Furniture Company, who makes furniture, and they're donating it to us. And we're putting these stakes in stake beds in the lake up at Otter Slough Conservation Area, and down here both. We're sort of split up. They get a load, we get a load. They get a load, we get a load. So.
Okay. And so you talked about you wanted volunteers. You needed help.
That would really help. This is a time-consuming effort, labor-intensive, and we'd like to have some. If anybody's interested in improving the fish habitat and making some stake beds so they have a better place to fish, they can contact me and we'll set it up. And
how do they contact you?
They can call me at the Missouri Department of Conservation office at area code 314-290-5730.
Okay, we'll try to put that on a run across the bottom of the thing.
We do want to make sure that they contact us first. Because
don't come out and start just hammering down your old boards, is what he's trying to say.
We don't want anyone getting hurt because there's still a lot of construction going on out in the area, and we don't want anyone getting hurt out here and getting involved in that.
And I want to tell you, if you come out, wear boots if you have it. Look at here, my good shoes, and they weigh 5 more pounds apiece. This is gumbo, and you take it with you. So they can contact you. Is there anybody here in town that they might? What days is this going to be?
We can schedule according to what they can do. If weekends is it, then I'll come out on weekends and we'll do this.
Okay, so.
We're flexible. We can work with the people. If they want to volunteer, we'll be down here to help them.
All right,
get them started.
And we'll put that phone number across. So if you can come out and hammer down. Now, tell me how long it took you to hammer down. How many of you worked on this?
There were 4 of us this morning. We started about 9:30 in the morning. We finished about 2 o'clock, and we didn't stop. We only stopped for about 20 minutes.
So you did this many?
We guessed, and we're not really sure. We've got a whole bunch of bundles. We guess there's anywhere from 700 to 1,000 stakes in this one alone, and there's not as many in those down there.
Okay, now how many of these are you going to do?
As many as I can. I'd like to do.
Can you get all the stakes you want?
As long as they're making furniture, we're getting stakes. So.
Okay, and
I'd like to put in 15 or 20 if I could. Now, if I can get
15 or 20 of these, and you already have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, if I can get twice that many, that'd be great.
And the fishing would be better.
No, it concentrates fish for the angler, and the angler has a better chance of catching fish.
Okay, so all you people who want to sit on this bank on one of these rocks and catch some great fish out of here, you better get up and volunteer to get the beds ready.
We started putting these near a parking lot so people wouldn't have to walk so far if they want to fish off the bank to get to these things.
Okay.
That was one consideration we had, and we're going to do the same thing on the south end of the lake.
Now, tell me what I'm seeing, these dirt piles out here in the center.
These dirt piles are called fish berms or underwater islands, whatever you want to call them. There's I was told 83 of them. They measure 100 feet by 10 feet at the top. They should be 4 feet deep at the top when the lake's full. The lake's going to be 10 feet deep for the most part, and there should be 4 feet of water on top down. It's just diversity of depth. Diversity of habitat. There should be shallow water fish. Sometimes fish like shallow water, sometimes they like deep water. That just gives them a choice of where to go.
Now, what's the depth going to be?
10 feet.
10 feet is your greatest depth out here.
About 10 feet.
Now, that looks deeper than 10 feet.
It's going to go about halfway up this rock, I believe.
And it's only going to be 10 feet out there.
That's right.
When you get through.
That's what I'm told.
Looks like it's going to be deeper, but I guess he knows.
That's what the engineers tell me. So.
Okay, well, all right.
I believe engineers.
All right. So we've got tree roots, we've got stakes, we've got, what'd you call them, fish berms?
Underwater fish islands.
Underwater fish islands?
That's part of the bank goes out shallow, be 4 foot deep, and then drops off into the depths. So some of these areas are shallow, some of them just drop straight off into the lake. And the riprap itself that's underwater is good habitat for the fish too. There's rock right here along the bank, and it's all the way around the lake and along the fishing piers.
Okay, now when are you going to stock this?
Sometime next spring, early summer.
Okay, when
there's water in it.
All right, when do you anticipate that they will start filling this?
Well, when the construction is done, they'll start filling in. Depending on weather, it could be sometime after the 1st of the year, but it just depends.
Okay.
Hopefully by the 1st of March, we'd start filling. It'll take 6 months to get it full. We'll stock fish before it's completely full.
Okay, and are you instrumental in that? Do you really bring the fish in yourself? Do you help?
The hatcheries will be bringing the fish and stocking them. I may be here, but they'll be bringing them.
All right, can you tell the hatcheries to contact us before they do this, the day they're going to come in and bring the fish?
So.
We really would like to get this. They're going to put in several different kinds.
We're going to stock largemouth bass, bluegill, red ear sunfish, channel catfish, and fathead minnows to start with.
Fathead minnows.
They feed the bass. They spawn and they feed the bass, and it gets the bass and the sunfish to grow a lot faster, a lot quicker. In other words, they'll spawn a year sooner, and the fish population gets a lot better start.
Okay, so see, you got to get out here and hammer these stakes down, and you've got to, because they've got to put in a lot of fathead minnows, so we can sit on this rock right here. This is mine. I'm going to write a name on it, and I'm going to fish. All right.
That's fine.
And you're going to let us know when you're going to stock these, because we would like to talk with somebody about the fishes they put them in, the different kinds, and what they're doing. I'd like to see a fathead minnow. We're going to try to keep abreast of all the things that go on out here, and we'll bring you what we find out if you'll let me know.
I'd be glad to.
All right. Thank you.
Hopefully we'll have some real good fishing in a few years.
You have been watching Time for Talk. Time for Talk is a community betterment service designed to cooperate with our local community betterment program. Time for Talk is brought to you through the cooperation of Kennett Cablevision Incorporated and is produced through the facilities of the Slicer Street Church. The Holy Scriptures come alive.